thing that AVP did in response to this violence was to create a rally, a march that we had in the third week in May. I think it was May 20th. And this was immediately following Mark Carson's, the homicide of Mark Carson. And we brought together literally thousands of community members, and not just LGBT community members, because we were hearing from our allies who were saying, like, we can't, similar to what you were saying, like, I can't believe this is going on. I can't believe this is going on in 2013. It is so ridiculous, this idea that someone would be violent towards you because of who you are or who you love or how you look. And we want to support you. And I think that kind of alliance is what starts to change attitudes in this country, right? Like I can talk to you all day long about why you shouldn't hate queer people, but it's much more effective when my mom does it, right? Well, maybe less effective when my mom does it, just talking about me, but more effective when our straight allies are saying, this is a really important issue to us. And so we brought people together because they really, I think, felt this, sort of outrage and deep, deep mourning and sadness, and wanted to come together and sort of talk about it. And then immediately after that, we started what we called Friday night community safety nights, which are actually still going on through June, where we bring people together and we do sort of a safety planning, outreach training, and we create teams of people, and they go out into neighborhoods that are most recently affected by high-profile violence, and literally like sort of hand information to people, like, this happened in your neighborhood, this is what AVP is, this is how you can stay safe. Like, would you like to get involved? Like, how would you like to help out? And that was really effective as well. The other thing that we did is about sort of the beginning of June, we realized we're getting all of these calls from people who are really impacted by the violence, but who did not themselves experience violence. And so some people call this vicarious trauma, some people call this triggering, some people call it PTSD. There's lots of ways to think about it. But basically, like, you read over and over and over and over and over again that queer people are being beaten up for being queer, and it starts to really get to you, right? And you don't, not because you know somebody, not because it happened to you, not because you saw it, but just because that's really hard news to digest. And so we were getting these calls from people, and we realized the community needs a way to come together and talk about how this impacts them. And so we put on a community wellness night at the LGBT Center, and we brought, I think, something like 25 community-based organizations together. We had like a meditation and something that you do that makes it sound like rain if you do it all together, and it involves hitting your leg, and it was magical, and I could never do it again, but it was really awesome.
Was it tapping?
Yes, but I could actually would embarrass myself very much if I tried to do it right now, but it was amazing, and it was sort of the power of people in the room making noise, and it was gorgeous. And then we had self-defense, a little self-defense chair, and we basically had a speak out where people could stand up and say, I'm really pissed off, or I'm really scared, or I don't know what to do. And other people stood up and said, well, I'm here because I want community. Like, I want to feel like these are my people, and I know where I am, and I have this thing in this big city that feels like mine. And we had so many straight allies stand up and say, I'm here because I think this sucks, and like, I don't know what to do about it, but being here with all of you seems to be the good next step, right? And so I think what we showed ourselves, and hopefully what we showed people in the community, is that we're flexible. Like, we can respond to different needs that people have in both reactive and proactive ways. And in the meantime, we're still doing our hotline, and we're still doing counseling, and we're still doing outreach, and we're still doing campaigns, and we started a reporting violence and ends violence campaign. We do a lot of social media. Like, we're doing all of the regular work that we do every day, but also trying to sort of say, okay, so what are we hearing? What does the community need? And how can we be responsive, And I think if any one of those things appeals to anyone here, or appeals to anybody who just thinks this violence is wrong and I would like to make it not happen anymore, there's a place that you fit in. There is a way that the thing that appeals most to you, or the talent that you have, or the way in which you want to engage is perfect for what we want to do, because we want to be as often as possible and as with as much integrity as possible as many things to as many people as we can be, because we represent so many different communities and identities and voices that we want to create space for all of those things to occur at the same time, if that's possible, right?
So tonight's topic is about justice seekers, right? And what I wanted to unveil in this interview is what a justice seeker looks like, sounds like, how she emotes. It's not as much as I love AVP and as much as I am going to support this mission, this cause for as long as I can, I wanted to demonstrate to you a living justice seeker who didn't think that she would ever be doing this, or she stumbled upon it. But listen to her conversation. Listen to her delivery, to her passion. When she speaks, you know that she is invested in this cause. So you all have a cause. Some of you have an undiscovered cause. Some of you are standing in the way of your cause. But tonight is a little bit about that, a little bit about what is that cause for you? What are you a justice seeker about? So as we continue, I wanted to lay that seed there. This is a good time to do it. And Sharon, I want to ask you to tell me more about fusion.
So, welcome to the plugging our event portion of our program. It's our Pride celebration. It's the moment that we say, yes, we spend 364 days of the year talking about what violence is, but we also talk about what safety is, and we also talk about what community is. And here's this one day of the year where we get to have this enormous party where the whole purpose is for people just to have a good time. And it's really fun. And so it's the Wednesday before Pride. It's at XL Nightclub, which is apparently, Andrea tells me, this very hip nightclub because, I go home and order groceries and then go to bed. So I no longer go to very hip nightclubs, but it's very hip and it's very fun. And we were there last year and it was super fun.
Well, as one of the community sponsors.
Yes, and Wonder Woman is has been amazing. Not just tonight with highlighting us and allowing me to sit here and talk to you about the work that we do, but really I think every day and really trying to raise the profile and the visibility of these issues and other issues that are really important to people. We're incredibly lucky to have you as a sponsor, and thank you very much. But we're even more lucky to have you be doing this 12 months a year and 365 days a year. And I know that you all know how important this is because you're sitting here. But I just want to say out loud, I think it's really important, and we're really grateful both at AVP but in New York City to have Wonder Women exist in the world, right?
Thank you. That's a huge compliment. And I think one of the groups of people that speak to the idea of Wonder Women the most and understand it the most are people who have been abused, people who have overcome. Great overcoming. I don't know what other word to use, but it is so important to be able to give back to others, and that's what I'm trying to do. It makes sense for all the things that I went through in my life today to take those things and empower myself and others, because when you help someone, you help yourself 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more. And that's a big part of what we're doing here. And I want to go back to you because I love you. I think you're amazing. I
think it's all just a facade.
You're not taking. You gotta take it.
No, listen. I'm really, really good at my job. I really am. The president has said my name. I can die happy now. I'm really, no, I really am. I love my job. I think I'm good at it. I work really hard at it. So I'm not trying to be falsely modest. I just, I think that I just get the credit for so many other people's work. And that just sort of bugs me in a way that I feel like every time I have to be like, but it wasn't just, like, it wasn't me. It was like me and 700 other people, right? And which is not to say that I don't think I'm a rock star, because I'm a rock star. I'm a rock star, right? I'm just a quieter rock star. Left to my own devices, I would be sitting on my couch right now. So.
Well, in order to be a leader in some way, you must have a following.
Yeah.
And you must have a team.
Yes.
And you must have a group of people that resonate with what you're doing,
Yes.
what you believe in.
Yes.
But sometimes you are the person that's called forth. You're the person who's going to stand here. Because all those people that support you, all those people who care about you, all those people that you look at and you say, oh my God, you should be up here. They don't want to be up here. They want you to be up here. So, that's a very important, statement in that not everybody wants to do what you're doing, Sharon.